Sin is real. Its consequences are real and brutal. It leaves scars and causes pain and suffering for us and for others. Suffering is real. Pain is real. We need no reminder of that, but we find a reminder inserted into the Christmas story in the Gospel of Matthew. Not many people talk about it or preach it because they don't want to taint the Christmas story. But I would submit to you that we need this part of the story now more than ever. Matthew tells us that Herod, with unbridled brutality and loss of all self-control, sent a slaughter squad to Bethlehem to kill all baby boys 2 years old and younger. You may think, well, Bethlehem was a small town, but that doesn't really matter. They were still slaughtered. And I'm sure that the pain and the screams were just as real and just as loud 2,000 years ago as they would be if it happened this weekend. But even before then, there was another scenario, another event that Matthew mentions. It took place in Jeremiah chapter 31, where the nation of Israel had been conquered and families and tribes were being led to a city called Ramah. And that city served as a way station of sorts before families were separated from one another and sent into exile. Children were ripped from mothers' arms. Fathers were torn away from their families as they said their last goodbyes. And in their eyes, all hope was gone. Hope was lost. Hope was shattered. Life held out no purpose, no joy. The suffering was real and it was deep. But if we go to Jeremiah 31, we will find not only those words of grief, but we will also find words of hope and comfort. It says this, I will turn your mourning into joy. I will comfort you and give you gladness for sorrow. Keep your voice from weeping and your eyes from tears. They shall come back from the land of the enemy. There is hope for your future. What is the hope promised to those people in Jeremiah 31 that can heal that type of suffering they were under? And what's the hope promised to the desperate mothers in Bethlehem on that bitter night? Well, Matthew does not deny the pain and the heartache, but he beckons us to the promise of redemption. The redemption that is found only in Christ, the one who escaped that slaughter so he could carry a cross and be executed for man's sin, the sin of all believers. So suffering gives way to glory. Death and defeat give way to the resurrected, overcoming, everlasting life that is secured for us by Christ. And that is what makes Christmas special. As you pray today, please remember Reginald Acuna and his family, our national changemaker missionaries in Paraguay. And also remember the Hindi Life Word broadcast that's heard throughout Nepal.